I wanted to record really briefly about the sensuality labs tonight. Um, and I want to say also that I just wish this camera on my computer was not so blurry, but because it's blurry like this, I'm just gonna like go with that and let that be the experience that's happening instead of trying to make it perfect. And that's what we're doing in the labs too. We're going with the experience, letting our, like really discovering what's really there and working with what's happening in real time. Because when we use our senses, we have to drop our projections and actually feel what's going on. And that can be really challenging, that can be really triggering, and it can be very beautiful as well. So, I I really like what we stayed after, some of us, for tango, and I love the teacher so much. And really, the lesson in tango is the same lesson that we're working towards in the labs and in life, which is just we're learning how to dance and play nicely. And in the labs, we do that by noticing the energy and being with the energy and learning it's like a dance, this back and forth exchange that we're having. How can we be nice and feel nice and not be so worried about how we're coming off or worried about how it feels coming in? If we just kind of stumble a little, sometimes it's a little messy and we step on each other's feet. But if we just keep going, keep dancing, keep moving, we move the energy through in this way that's really nice and cohesive. And there was something else I wanted to say about that. The other thing that I find really interesting is that when we started in the space, we started by getting into our own bodies, our own connection with ourselves, and I welcomed in the spirit of tenderness. So, how can we be in tender connection with ourselves in this moment as we begin to open to the next experiences? So, putting our hands on ourselves, using tender, gentle breath to breathe through, and really just forming that connection. And what I noticed is that it didn't seem to land for many people. And yeah, it was kind of like stagnant, the energy. So we switched it up and did an exercise that invited touch of just the two fingers. One person shares one finger, the other person touches with another, and and then we're gently and sweetly guiding each other. One person is the leader, one person's the listener, listening to what the leader is bringing them towards, and and it was through that that we started to open the energy. So, just a couple things here. It's like we need each other to enliven these things and to bounce energy off to make it tangible and more alive. And when we invite like tenderness in that point of connection, it really allows. There's more to be aware of. We can start to feel it more. There's feedback when there's another person. So it's really helpful to practice these things with other people, people you know, people you don't know. Um, and there was one more thing I wanted to say about that. Uh, yeah, the other thing that we did in the space is to just continue that play of directive energy and receptive energy, and getting clear on, when you're leading, how to lead nicely. In tango, our teacher Kelly says you want to take them on a nice walk. You're just having a nice walk together. So the more we take these kind of metaphors and apply them to, it's like a dance, apply them to what we're doing in this human connection experiment, is learning how to, yeah, just play real nice. And for no reason at all, not because we're trying to get something, not for any goal other than to be in the experience of niceness, because that's nourishing and relaxing, and we can let our guards down, and We don't have to perform. It's very different when we can just feel nice together and not need it be anything but that. Okay, so if you have questions about the labs, you can contact me directly. And this is something I really want to do online as well. So if there's interest there, we can talk about that too. Thanks. The last thing I want to say about tonight is that I'm just so grateful for all of the people that showed up and came with courageous energy to try some things that are really new and out of your comfort zones. And really, one of the hardest things to do is to step out of our patterns and try new things, because what you're doing when you step out of your comfort zone is you are challenging your ego mind, that really wants to keep things locked into place. It doesn't, for some reason, want for you to change. It takes a lot more energy to change. It likes things as it is. And if you're challenging its structure and program, it gets agitated. And yeah, transformation really is not easy. It can be quite uncomfortable. But yeah, I so admire the people that came tonight and shared what was going on for them, some of the difficult things about being in the space, and still being here and allowing the experience to just become a part of them in whatever way it did. So this is the invitation, is to come, and you don't have to take part other than to just be in the space and see what you notice. See what you notice in others that are interacting, without judgment, just as a way of being curious and exploring humans. um, and notice what you're feeling in yourself, and question, why am I feeling this? Is there anything really going on here that I need to be concerned with? Am I safe? And most of the time we are safe. It's just that some prior story has taken shape in our minds, so we feel alert in our systems. And the only way to get over this is through gentle exposure. Over time, when we use our senses, first of all, when we dial in with our senses to get clear on what's actually happening in the space, then we aren't in the story. We're not like, something's happening, I think, because this reminds me of a past time. We're actually really able to read what's going on when we get clear through our senses. So that's really a beautiful part of this work. And yeah, and then we start to smooth out these hard edges. The more that we come, the more that we practice. And if we practice in community that's regular, it gets more and more comfortable, more and more easy. And those places that were alerted before just start to quiet. Because what happens is, most of the time when we feel alert in our system, we give it all of our attention. And we make it really big so that it just decides it's going to be here. And that's all I'm noticing. But if we can let it be here, but just put it to the side and notice other things that are occurring. There are other experiences going on. What can I learn if I just watch and sit out? I'm not in danger. I'm just going to notice and continue to explore. Eventually, when you pay attention over here, this part gets quiet, and eventually it starts to just go away, and this other thing is left in its place. And that is what we're aiming towards. We can't chase it or grab it or like try to force it to happen. We just have to be with all the things, and let the things we want to come into presence, give them more of our attention. We are what we attend. We become what we attend. So practicing how to use our attention in a way that helps us is really empowering. So thank you again for taking part, if you took part, and if it was really difficult for you. I really, really admire you, and hope you will come back into the space. Thank you.